Alright, guys, so, I kind of finished this early, so I thought I'd talk about it now. That being Hellverine Resurrection. So, Hellverine Resurrection is, for those who don't know, this was by Ben Percy, and this is another book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you once again, bro. And yeah, so this comic is, what it is kind of a sequel to a story arc that Ben Percy had wrote as a Ghost Rider Wolverine event called Weapons of Vengeance. In there, essentially what had happened was that Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze and Logan encountered a demon called Baragul, who was brought together, who was summoned from Hell by this group called Project Hellfire, which is a government-sanctioned group that uses weapons from Hell to try to make them into weapons they can use for the government. Well, so that thing possessed Wolverine and caused a shit ton of chaos to hunt down mutants. But Baragul was pulled out of him. But now, Baragul has now possessed a new host to make another Hellverine because this shit looks so cool. It's literally what this comic is. It's just, look how cool this image is. Don't you want this image? Isn't this image so awesome? I bet you want more of this image as a comic. Yeah. So the comic does take place a few months after the fall of Krakoa, and Project Hellfire is now operating underneath the Pentagon called the Pentagram, or the Pentangle. And they created a group of Hellfire super soldiers because that was totally going to go well. And those super soldiers got out, but at the same time, all across the U.S., Baragul and his new host are killing the guilty and punishing them and putting them in horrible forms that even I don't want to show on here because I don't want to get in trouble. But who is Baragul's new host? The government thinks it's Logan, but even Logan has said, that's not me. And it turns out the new Hellverine is Daken, or his real name Akahiro. But we'll call him Daken for sake of argument. So Daken, if you guys remember, at the end of Ben Percy's run during Sabretooth War, Daken was brutally murdered by Sabretooth in their fight. Well, Baragul managed to find Daken's remains and put him back together and make him his new host. So Daken is now, lost his memory and is now trying his best to, fight the demon within. But Baragul is trying to, gain control as well. It's very Zarathos and Johnny Blaze. Like I said, this comic just is more based off of, how cool a Ghost Rider Wolverine is. Won't that sell some Funko Pops at one point? I guarantee you that we'll get a Funko of this. This whole story, the main villain, his name is General Harm. I'm not joking, that's the name of the guy, is General Harm. And General Harm is like our bad guy who is I'm evil for the government. He's not really a major threat. The super soldiers are also, the destroyers as they're called, are more of a threat to themselves than anything else. There's some great gore in here. It's a pretty straightforward book. For 4 issues, Ben Percy just basically says, hey, I wanted to keep making a Ghost Rider Wolverine comic, so that's what I did. And I don't think anyone at Marvel wanted to stop him, or had the audacity to stop him. The comic's pretty gory, too, and pretty violent, and I like the idea of, the government dealing with the occult, because that would make sense, right? You live in a world where, Ghost Rider's real, so obviously the government would try to use the occult in their own capacity in a universe like this. But I'm why aren't you using weapons from, heaven or whatever? Why does it have to be from hell? You know it's not going to turn out well. But yeah, I also like the moments between Logan and Daken, because one of the things that we never really got in, even though, yes, Wolverine finally got his family in Krakoa, him and Daken never really, connect, they never really got too deep in terms of connection in most of the comics. So it's kind of nice to see that they're kind of reconnecting here in this series. So, yeah. Again, this just is, there's not really much of a story to it other than, hey, Daken's now a Ghost Rider in a way, and isn't that cool? Daken is a character I've been about. I've never really hated him or liked him. He's just been kind of there. But hopefully with this new Hellverine series, we can get some cool shit from it. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for with this. And it's always cool to see Ben Percy write a Wolverine character again. So, and there's not, again, the only story here is just to be like, it's one big mini, like the 4-issue pilot to a ongoing series. So, yeah. Having said all that, this is just kind of like Ben Percy just wanting to have a big, dumb, fun, like action moments, and based off of a cool image. And that's all it is. I know I said that a lot in this book, but that's essentially what this book is just, look how cool this is. Shut up and enjoy how metal everything is. So yeah, I recommend it. I know the ongoing is still well going right now, so I'm sure Chris will be sending me trades when that first volume comes out. But yeah, do I recommend Hellverine? Hell yeah, it is dumb, stupid fun. And Ben Percy continues to like knock it out of the park. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, Chris, thank you so much for sending me this comic. And yeah, if you've read Hellverine, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, Multiverse.